Hello. So there's been a thing that I put off for like a month and a half by now. In my last channel update thingy in late December, I very quickly glossed over a potential Q&A thing and then nothing came out of it. I mentioned that I'd either reply to the comment directly or make a video of all the questions, and right after I said that, I realized that it's probably better to make a video so that it's more findable for everybody. And so I decided that, but then I kept putting it off and off, so I didn't end up replying to the comments and I didn't make a video, which made it seem like I was ignoring everybody. Really sorry about that. Whenever I sit down, between playing games and talking about myself, I pretty much will never choose to talk about myself, so it was a little bit because I never had time, and also a little bit because I'm lazy. Anyway, yeah, so sorry about that, but to make up for it, I don't really know how to, but I guess if it's a question that I can expand more on, then I will talk more about it. So this is really just going to be a video of me rambling on and on about myself. Yay, my favorite topic! No hidden puzzles or riddles or anything, the screen is really just filler, so you can do other stuff if you'd like. Okay. Most of the questions that I got are gaming related, and actually they're all kind of interrelated as well. There's a couple that's really about me, just me, which is fine too, but I think I'll leave them for the end because I don't want to open with them. So we'll go with the gaming ones first. And the gaming ones are really nice too, I think, because it's potentially good insight into why someone thinks the way they do when they game, if that makes sense. Like maybe their gaming background will affect choices they make in future video games, things they perceive, why they like certain genres, etc, etc. Wow, I made it sound so like scientific and stuff, but no, really, we're just here to talk about video games. That's it. Okay, well then, let's start off. By the way, these are in no particular order. I kind of just took them from the comment section and grouped them up a little bit, but otherwise they aren't really in any order that I would like them to be in or anything. Actually, this question doesn't even apply anymore, but I got one that said, are you going to do a celebration for 5k subs? And the answer is no, because I find that stuff to be a hassle. To be honest, like how would you celebrate that anyway? People come for gaming videos, right? So I feel like the best way to celebrate is really to create more videos, right? But yeah, that's how I'm showing my appreciation, by continuing to do what I'm doing, I guess. Yeah? No? Okay, moving on. Okay, what games are you looking most forward to in 2016? Do you plan on uploading videos on any of them? So here comes the first tangent that I can go into. This isn't really what the question is asking at all, but I think it's pretty interesting to mention. So ever since I started taking this whole YouTube thingy hobby thing a bit more seriously, it's been really fun, and being productive actually really makes me feel good about myself. Because my job isn't particularly stimulating, so while it's nice to come back home and just relax, it also makes me feel kind of dead inside, and making videos is a way to kind of keep myself on the ball. But yeah, back to the whole YouTube thing. Ever since I started doing this, the one really big downside is that I don't really play games for leisure anymore. And that's not to say that I treat this like my job or anything. It's not, it's a hobby. But what I mean is I don't game outside of recording because I don't actually have time to. And what that really means is that what you see on the channel is 99% exactly how much gaming I'm doing. I just don't have any time for anything else. When you see a 30-minute video, what actually goes on is 30 minutes of playing, 30 minutes plus or minus of editing, then 45 minutes of rendering, and then like 2 hours of uploading because my internet is crap. So yeah, after all that's done, it's pretty late already and time to go to bed pretty much. And then you start doing this thing where you feel like you should be recording everything you're doing, because if you're not, then it's kind of like wasting your time. It's a bit of a downside because sometimes I just want a couch potato, and lie back, do nothing, brainlessly shoot some zombies or whatever, right? But yeah, the point I'm trying to make here is that, back to the original question, do you plan on uploading any videos on the games I'm looking forward to in 2016? What I'm trying to say here is, if there is a game I'm really looking forward to, that I really want to play, 99% of the time it will be on the channel, unless if I feel like the game is so radically different from the videos I usually do that people wouldn't be interested in, Like, for example, I play a crap ton of this rhythm game on my phone called Love Live, and that's completely different from what I do on the channel, so I'm not gonna go record that. I actually play it so much that I had some severe back problems because of it, but anyways, that's a tangent. Back to the actual question of what games I'm looking forward to this year. So currently it's the middle of February, and some of the games that I was looking forward to actually already passed. Oxenfree and Firewatch are the two major indie Jumbo Shrimp games that I can think of right now. I didn't know a lot about Oxenfree before the year started, so not much hype going on there, but Firewatch I was really looking forward to it for a while. And I liked both. I liked both enough to remember them for a while. Rise of the Tomb Raider, which I'm currently playing right now, it's probably a little bit different from what I usually play because I don't think I play AAA games on the channel that often. Actually, the last time that happened was probably Sleeping Dogs, which was in 2014, towards the end. So yeah, it's a pretty well-covered area on YouTube already, AAA games. But, you know, sometimes I like to play a AAA game too. I wanna shoot some zombies brainlessly or whatever, right? Unravel. I know the game came out already on the same day as Firewatch, but I haven't gotten the chance to look at it yet. And to be completely honest, I'm not all that interested in platforming games. But if it comes with a story, then I'd be interested. And Yarn Man at E3 was just so passionate about it though, so I feel like I should at least take a look sometime. If you don't know about Yarn Man, you should look it up, but basically what happened was last E3, he was introducing his game for the first time in the world, and I guess he's not very used to public speaking like some of the other speakers, so he was shaking so much while holding this little yarn toy and like, just... You could tell he was really nervous, but it didn't detract from his passion. Like, everybody could tell that he was really passionate about his game, actually. Pretty sure that's where most of Unravel's hype came from too, so sometimes bad things turn out to be good things in disguise. Wow, that was very eloquently put. What else? On the indie front, I actually don't know what the heck's releasing this year. No Man's Sky? Is that indie though? It has so much hype around it. Now, I don't know about that game because lately I've been on a streak of playing story-related games and it feels like No Man's Sky is a sandbox game, so not sure how that will go. I can't think of any more indie games, but on the AAA game front, there's quite a bit. Oh, I know one more indie game. I'm not sure if it's coming out this year though, but the new game by Dingaling Games, who made Lisa, tentatively called Ninja Tears. I don't know if it's coming out this year or next year, but after playing Lisa, whatever the heck Dingaling is making, I'll take it. I'll take it without thinking. For AAA games, there is a game series on the PS, on the PlayStation, that I think I may play in the near future, where the fourth one is coming out in April. I don't know why I'm not saying the name instead of just saying it, but that series, I'm very interested in it. I actually got a PS4 like last November during Black Friday, and I've put like 2 hours into it so far, so really gotta make use of it, and I've heard a lot of good things about that series, so hopefully I can get around to it soon. But on the topic of PS4, I've gotten quite a few questions about the same few games on PS4, whether I would play them or not. Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, The Last of Us. I've gone those multiple times, and they are definitely on my list, especially because I think Heavy Rain is coming out on PS4 next month, so that could be a thing. Although Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, okay, behind the scenes stuff, okay? It's a little bit scary to play on YouTube because the company that made them, what are they called again? Quantic Dream. Quantic Dream actually explicitly came out and said, no, you cannot play our games on YouTube. So, but at the same time, you see that there are a lot of playthrough and walkthrough videos of those games on YouTube already, right? So it's a really gray area situation, but there is the potential that if someone plays those games, their channel could get shut down. I'm serious. Like, it probably won't happen, but it's a possibility. And they can always use the, we already told you, you can't play those games, you can't play our games on YouTube line, so Honestly, it's a little bit of a risk that I'm not sure if I want to take, but to be honest, I already took that risk when I was playing Fahrenheit, which is also by Quantic Dream. It's unlikely that they'll actually do anything, I think, but it's always a possibility, which makes it very, very scary. And you know, companies these days, a lot of them are very open to you playing their game on YouTube because they realize that it's free marketing. But for games that are story-oriented, I can't see why they wouldn't want you to play their game because seeing it is basically the same as playing it. Well, that's what they think anyway. Of course, there are also people that argue if someone is adding commentary on it, especially if it's insightful or informative, then shouldn't that be transformative enough of an experience? Like, it's hard to differentiate between whether someone is watching a video because they want to hear that person talk or they want to see the game. And I guess that's sort of a developing area in copyright that no one really knows the status of so far. Pretty gray. Wow, why did I end up talking about YouTube copyright from what games are you looking forward to in 2016? Okay, let's get back. Let's see. Oh, yes, this one. Okay, I'll read to you what I wrote a week ago. Quantum Break. Unfortunately, I don't have an Xbox One, and one game is not enough to sell me on it, so I'll probably be on the same end as you. I'll watch someone else play it, or something. As of mid-February, this is no longer true because Quantum Break has been announced for the PC as well. So I'm very happy about that because that was the only game I wanted an Xbox One for. If you haven't heard about it, it's by Remedy Entertainment, the people who made Alan Wake. And Quantic Dream is basically about, well, I haven't really looked into it that much, but it's about time traveling powers and time stopping powers and all this time stuff, which is basically a weak point of mine. I have 2 weak points. You do either of these things and I'll pretty much be guaranteed to at least try your game. Number 1, put your game in Hong Kong. Or number 2, make it about time traveling. So yeah, those are my 2 weak points. And if you're wondering why Hong Kong, it's because this is actually a pretty good time to talk about one of the other questions that I got that I already answered the asker personally. It's when did I move to Canada? If you didn't know, right now I'm living in Vancouver, Canada, but that wasn't always the case. I've also lived in Hong Kong for a good third of my life. Obviously, the piece of the pie is getting smaller the longer I stay in Vancouver, but nonetheless, it's a special place to me. So pretty much put your game in Hong Kong and I'll play it. There you go. Actually, if you set your game in Vancouver, I'll play it too because I don't remember seeing a single game that's made in, or not made in, but set in Vancouver. There is one that I can remember, Mass Effect 3, but that Vancouver, that was so far off in the future and so generic that it didn't even look like Vancouver. So when I say I want to see a game set in a particular city, I mean I want it to look like what it does now or what it has before, so that futuristic Vancouver doesn't count. Moral of the story, put your goddamn game in Hong Kong or Vancouver and I'll play it, okay? Okay, good. Alright, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, games I'm looking forward to in 2016. So, what else do I have down here? Right, not many indie games because I guess they don't have as much marketing. But on the AAA game front... Oh, Detroit Become Human! Yeah! Why didn't I talk about that earlier? Quantic Dream's new game, based off their little Kara demo from a few years ago. It could be good, but then again, it's a David Cage game, and so I don't know what kind of expectations I should be having, but I'll play it. And if I'm being completely honest, the trailer for Detroit Become Human was the moment that I realized I needed to get a PS4 because if I don't invest in one, there's always gonna be this locked out section of games that I'll never play. So, no joke, even though I got the PS4 because there are a lot of great games on it, the reason I even thought of getting it was because I saw the trailer for Detroit Become Human. And I think that's it for original IPs. There's a lot of sequels coming out this year that I am on the fringe, and I think I could be interested. Actually, I'm pretty sure I am interested, but time constraints is a thing, and most AAA games I find are really, really long. I don't know if I'll get around to playing them, but I certainly am excited. So that includes Mirror's Edge Catalyst, Dishonored 2, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Ah, the first Deus Ex game and Human Revolution, they were both set in Hong Kong. There you go. Although, of course, that really wasn't why I played it, but it certainly was a good motivator. And, oh yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda. I've played the first 3 Mass Effect games, and I think it's one of the only super long RPGs I've played. I haven't played The Witcher, I haven't played Dragon Age. I feel like the older I get, the less I want to invest time in a super long series. But anyways, that's a huge tangent. Mass Effect Andromeda. Well, BioShock? Not BioShock, BioWare. BioShock, I haven't played BioShock either. But BioWare, you know, that ending. The ending to Mass Effect 3 was kind of, you know, so... I'll keep on a lookout for it, but I'm not sure about Andromeda yet. That's pretty much it, I think. Can't think of any more for the time being, but I'm sure there must be more. If you think of a game that I might like, feel free to let me know. Okay, so that was the first set of questions. Oh my god, that was like 15 minutes already. And don't worry, there's actually not that many questions. I'm just expanding a lot off of them so that I can make up for being super late, that's all. Okay, there's a couple related questions here. How and when did you get into video games? When did you actually start playing games and why? How? That's a tough one to remember. Do you remember when you started playing video games? If you do, that is amazing because I don't. But I would have to say that it's because I was an only child. And yes, that's relevant. So my parents were always at work, right? And to preoccupy me, they got me a lot of toys and stuff to play with. I was a pretty spoiled kid, but yeah. The things they got me included a Game Boy and a PS1. So my first game has to be on one of those platforms, and I didn't get the original Game Boy. I got the Game Boy Light, I believe. I'm looking at a picture of Game Boy Light and a Game Boy Pocket right now, and I can't really tell the difference. But I think it was the Game Boy Light. So I'm inclined to say that my first video game was probably... well, the first one that I can remember anyway. It was probably Pokemon. And this was before I came to Canada too, so I played the Japanese versions without knowing a lick of Japanese at the time. But I'll tell you what, you stare at something long enough, and it will start to stare back at you. No, I'm kidding. But you start to understand it. It's really weird. I got to the point where I had Pikachu's name in katakana engraved into my soul. But I didn't even know what katakana was at the time, so kind of weird. Learning the movesets was a bitch because I didn't know. I couldn't tell if they were an attack or what. So actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that probably contributed to my lack of strategy when playing Pokemon games. So how I do it is I just get all the attacks. I don't care about the status affecting stuff at all. If I can't beat them, then I'll just grind to a higher level until I can't beat them with just attacks. I don't even use potions, by the way. It was really, truly a grind fest. But yeah, not knowing Japanese probably contributed to that because when I was little, I couldn't tell what the status affecting attacks did. So I thought they did nothing. So I didn't like them. Wow, mystery solved. But other than the Pokemon games, yeah, no, let's be honest, there was nothing other than the Pokemon games. No, but I liked it a lot. I played Pokemon every single game up until at least 3rd gen. And when I say every single game, I mean I played Pokemon Red to completion, I played Pokemon Blue to completion, I played Pokemon Green, which was never released in North America, to completion, and I played Pokemon Yellow to completion. So I really mean every single game and not one game from each gen. You know, when you're younger, you don't have as many games and stuff. It's not like PC gaming nowadays where games are literally a dime a dozen. So the games that you do have, you really treasure them and you spend a lot of time with them. So for me, that game, the game that I spent a lot of time with was Pokemon. Game Boy and PS1 were the only games I had, or game consoles I had. And even on the PS1, I really only got like random games that I can't even remember anymore. So not really anything memorable on that side. And because those were the only 2 consoles I had, I've never played any of those games that people my age, gamers my age, that have started gaming from a really young age consider classics. I don't know, like stuff like Zelda. I have never played a single Zelda game, and I can't think of any other examples right now, but you know what I mean, right? Those games, I've never played them. And I also think that's related to being an only child too, because if you have an older brother or sister who plays games, you play their games, and you find out about more games like that. But I didn't really have anyone like that for me, so there you go. Other games that are significant to me. Oh, this is, I don't know if I mentioned the question already before, but this is a part of, what was your first video game? And what was the first video game that's kind of special to me? And what is special to me? Well, to answer that, first of all, special. I guess special to me really just means that I had a particular experience with it that made it stand out from the rest. Whether that's actually because of the game content or because of a memory I have with the game. Yeah, I think that's what would be special to me. And on that note, Super Mario World Advance is special to me because it was the first game I got. The first North American game that my mom bought for me when I was like 12, 13? I don't know. You know, my mom is really frugal and stuff too, so for her to be buying me a game was like a world redefining event. And so it's pretty dear to me. And I never 100%ed that because it was so big. My goodness. All those secret worlds. Yeah, it's just never finished it, but I had a great time doing all the worlds and stuff. And I guess lastly, Portal is also special to me. And also, I would consider that my quote-quote first video game. My first PC game? Definitely not the first time I played games on a computer, but... Okay, wait, let's go back a little bit first. So when I was little, I had a Game Boy and a PS1. And then when I came to Canada, I had a Game Boy Advance, but that was where it stopped. Like, I just stopped becoming interested in gaming, I guess. Not too sure what I was doing around this time. Maybe watching anime or something, but I didn't even get a DS. After Game Boy Advance, I just never got a Nintendo system again, and that still holds true to today. But around the end of high school, which I think is 2010-ish, I saw something on the internet. Valve is giving away Portal for free. So at the time, I didn't even know what the heck Valve or Portal was. But from what I could tell, a lot of people were saying that Portal was this really, really good PC game. That was what prompted me to create a Steam account, which is the beginning of the fall. And there was also some Nvidia complimentary pack that gave out Half-Life 2 Lost Coast and Half-Life 2 Death Match, I think. And not that I really touched them. Actually, I was really afraid of Lost Coast because I couldn't handle FPSs at the time. But yes, Portal. So I tried playing it a little bit and miraculously, it actually worked on my pre-built computer. But I didn't get very far in it because remember at this time, I hadn't been playing games for a long time now. And even Portal was a very not scary game, but to me at the time, it was very sterile, I guess. It was just so isolated feeling because of all the steel walls and gray concrete and stuff. So I didn't really enjoy playing it myself, but I really enjoyed the story, like Gladys and all the funny dialogue and stuff. I think I eventually saw the whole thing on YouTube or something, or little bits and pieces. I distinctly remember watching the Gladys boss fight on YouTube. That was why I got a Steam account, but I didn't really play that much on it. Eventually, I just kept playing more and more PC games. Oh, I know. Team Fortress 2, TF2. That was also one of the few things that would actually work on my computer. And it was pretty funny too. I still remember the first time I logged in, opened the game and joined a server. Didn't know what to do, but I wanted to be helpful, right? So I decided, okay, well, Medic is probably helpful, right? Because it heals people. So what I did was I picked Medic and then I saw some dude. So I started healing him. Except he was the NG and he was building like a sentry at base or something. So he really didn't need healing. And the guy on this voice chat was like, why are you healing me? And I started panicking a little bit and I ran away from him. And that's the beginning of my 700 hours in TF2. I don't really play anymore these days, but whenever I open the game, I can play that forever. I can just not stop. But yeah, after TF2, I think I just started to pay more attention to gaming in general. Like I started looking at games, the game subreddit on Reddit, and then everything just kind of snowballed from there. But the one other game that I got really obsessed with, which is also special to me, is Minecraft. At the time, I've heard the name Minecraft a lot. Minecraft, 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 everywhere I go. But I never gave it a chance. But then, back when you could actually search stuff and find trending videos, there was a Minecraft video that was trending. Try Mountain Survival Part 4 by Uberhaxonova, which is still very deeply engraved into my mind, as you can tell here. I was pretty into Minecraft for a long time too. As you can tell, because my original channel was based off of Minecraft. And yeah, that should be under one of my special games too. Minecraft. If there was no Minecraft, this channel would not exist. I can tell you that. But then, you know, even when I was playing Minecraft, I spent a lot of my time playing adventure maps, custom adventure maps. And from that, I started to realize that what I was really looking for was a story experience rather than a sandbox experience. And you know those sandbox games, they're really only fun if you play with other people, right? So for me, that would really only mean my close friends because I'm pretty shy. I don't really like playing multiplayer with other people, which meant that as soon as my close friends stopped playing Minecraft as much, my interest in Minecraft with that also dwindled. But anyways, that's that. Did I answer everything yet? Let's see. When did I get into video games? When did I actually start playing and why? What was your first video game? What was the first video game that's kind of special to me? I think I covered everything, right? I think so. So in conclusion, Pokemon, Super Mario Advance, Portal, TF2, and Minecraft. Wow, that's a lot for special games, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, just really 2 more questions. See, like I said, there's not that many questions. I'm just talking a crap load about them. This is not a direct question, but someone asked if I would ever consider a Twitch option, like live streaming. And at least for the moment, I feel like that's not my thing. Because number 1, I don't think I have the upload speeds for that kind of thing. At least not at the quality that I would like to stream at. I live in North America, which means that I pay an astronomical number for really shitty speeds. And no, I don't think live streaming at 1080p is a doable thing. And number 2, most of the games that I play are more story-based in nature, at least recently. And I feel like Twitch is mainly for interaction with other people, right? Which I don't hate, but I don't love either. It'll distract me from the story in the game. And even when I'm recording by myself right now, I still find myself getting distracted sometimes. I have to look at the time to see how long I've been playing. I have to make sure everything is still recording properly. So if I play a game like that on Twitch, it would certainly distract me from the thing. Although I guess that wouldn't really apply for party games or more casual games. But then we get to my third problem. The third and most important. I am socially a hermit. I've mentioned this before, but I'm really introverted. Even though I'm talking to myself right now and posting a video of myself talking on the internet. What? But yeah, live streaming would really put me on edge so much that you would really only be getting a fraction of me compared to when I'm doing a recording. Like just the thought of having to reply to people in real time is kind of scary. Which is why sometimes I take so long to reply to comments. Because I gotta like prepare myself mentally, sit down, and then start replying to comments. Yeah, I can see live streaming taking all of the energy out of me. So for now, at least for now, the answer is a no. It could be a thing in the future especially if my internet speed gets any better. I think it would be a good thing for an introvert to try to step out of their comfort zone sometimes too. So I'm not opposed to it because I'm a social hermit, although it is an idea that makes me uncomfortable. Whew, okay, what else is left? Oh, I have one question about myself, not about gaming left, so I guess we can end off with that? What did I study at university? Not really anything super interesting. I studied business, and what do you call that? Like my concentration? The specific thing in business that I studied is called Management Information Systems and Transportation and Logistics, which I feel like sounds cool in name, but not sure how much of what I learned in school I remember. I got the degree, you know, I know my stuff, theoretically. Yeah, the way I got into it wasn't really the most enthusiastic of ways, I guess. At the end of high school, I didn't really have an idea what to do with my life, which I still don't. So my mom knew that I was pretty good at math and stuff, so why not go into accounting, she suggested. And I really respect my mom's opinion, right? It's not because she forced me, it's just that I didn't really care either way. And to go into accounting, you have to go into business first. But then while I was doing the lower level business courses, I realized that accounting wasn't really my thing. So I chose the management information systems and transportation and logistics, which I think is a little bit closer to what I'm interested in. And the funny thing is, I probably would have wanted to go into computer science if it wasn't for one of my classes in high school being completely overkill. I took an advanced programming class in high school, and I ended up being the only girl, which was really intimidating if it wasn't for the guy sitting next to me, who was the only person I talked to. And also, the teacher was really just not that good at teaching. He's a great programmer, and apparently even Google wanted to hire him and stuff, but his teaching was very disorganized, and he kept trying to make us do things that were way out of our skill range, which made me feel like the whole field was really intimidating. That was why I gave up on computing science. Thinking back, I kind of wish I did a computing science minor with my degree or something, but that wasn't a thing for whatever reason. It might be a thing if I ever decide to go back for more schooling, but for now, I'm okay with this. Actually, lately I've been thinking of getting some certifications for some of the things that I'm really interested in. But did you know, a psychology thing, if you tell people about your goals, the things that you plan to do, you actually get the satisfaction before you actually do the thing. You might think that telling your friends and family might help you with continuing on to your goal, but you should think about that side effect too. And I know personally that I get really affected by that. Like, I start feeling really good about myself for planning something, so not gonna say anything unless if it actually comes to fruition. Whew, I think that's all the questions I got. Wow, that was a lot of talking about random video games, but I'm glad I talked about it, because especially the Pokemon stuff and the Portal stuff, I would never get to bring that up in a normal gaming video, so it's nice. Nice to have some opportunities to talk about things that I normally wouldn't. And yeah, that is pretty much it. I don't have anything else, but if you made it this far, is anyone even gonna make it this far? But if you did make it this far though, I would love to know what your first video game was too. Is it something super old school, or is it something pretty recent? I have this theory based off no evidence that gaming is getting more and more popular these days, so it would be cool to see if I can get any sort of confirmation here. But yeah, I think that is it. Wow, that was a long... This is probably the longest ramble I've done to date, so... Yep, thanks for listening, and I will see you some other time. Bye!